What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boy oh boy, the community for Battlefield 6 has been kind of up in arms a lot about the cosmetics within the overall experience. But finally, after a decent amount of time, we have a store bundle that seems to be pleasing a lot of players, and it also, in my personal opinion, looks phenomenal. But I think we have reached a point where a lot of the community are going to have to man up, vote with their wallets, and, show what they want out of the overall Battlefield 6 experience. We could talk the talk all day long when it comes to social media over on Reddit or Twitter, but if people aren't going to actually own it and, prove it inside the actual game experience, it's not going to make any difference, and DICE isn't going to do a thing. So, today's video, we're going to showcase a lot of the new cosmetics, and I'm going to kind of share my opinion on why the community has to, handle things a little bit differently, or else change will never occur. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, before going dive on deep, if you guys are interested in more content like this, don't forget subscribing to that bell. I post twice here, once at 8 a.m. Eastern Time, and a second time at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And also, if you guys are interested in my live streams, I do stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, if you guys are interested, go link that channel down in the description of this video. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, as I was saying, a lot of people have been kind of pissed off with the skins that are being sold within the Battlefield 6 experience. A lot of them are, too flashy in a lot of players' opinions, and they just don't care for them that much. But we finally got a bundle that it seems the whole community is absolutely ecstatic about. As you can see right here, Lead the Way pack, and this skin, this bundle, looks absolutely outstanding. When it comes down to the operator skin, the weapon skin, shoot, even the vehicle skin. I've heard some people say the vehicle skin is a little strange with all the grass on it, but I think it still looks pretty badass. I pretty much love everything in this bundle. But I did hear from Charlie Intel, basically this bundle has been pushed out there on Battlefield 6 to honor Veterans Day. But as you guys can see right here from Charlie Intel, he said, Battlefield has announced a Lead the Way pack bundle for $12 to honor Veterans Day, available in Battlefield 6 and RedSec. However, EA says all proceeds of this will be for themselves only. EA will make a separate donation to the National Ranger Association, which is kind of scummy if you ask me, but thank the heavens someone down in the comment section kind of cleared, the air a bit here. This is from Sabri saying, remember to do some research, and of course showcasing the comments of talking about this bundle here, and the actual, organization here, which EA is going to be donating to, says that EA already did a very generous donation, and there's still more to come. Now, I'll be real with you guys. Every organization is probably going to say that, especially if they're getting a donation by one of these bigger companies. It might not be that much, but they're not going to bash down and say, oh, they didn't do anything. They didn't help us whatsoever. They'll probably try to be nice about it. But, still, I can only go off of the information that I see, and it seems like EA is still doing a pretty decent donation. So, regardless, you guys might have heard some negative news about this bundle, but just know that it's not all completely true. But overall, this bundle is looking really good, and it's actually cheaper than a lot of the other stuff in the store, because a lot of the store items are like $20+ for some of the big beefy boy bundles to have an $11 to $12 bundle that has, an operator skin, vehicle skin, weapon skin, parachute, all the details, is pretty nice, and I like this one, and I'm actually debating on going ahead and scooping this one up because, personally, I just want to go ahead and prove a point to EA on exactly what we want as a community. See, a lot of people in the community have been complaining about all the skins within this overall experience, like, for example, as you guys can see right here, stuff like this, Viper Command with all the green splotches just dashed all across this guy's body, or even the Shadow Assault one with more, lime green all over the place. And some of them, they're not like bad, like Call of Duty status, where they're just completely out there and they look wild. But still, players have been kind of voicing their opinions on how this stuff just looks kind of crap to them personally. They just don't like it whatsoever. And now, again, with this new bundle coming on through, people are very happy. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, no more talk. Talk is way too cheap at this point, ladies and gentlemen. If you want action to be done when it comes down to EA, because you have to keep in mind, this isn't down to DICE. This is EA. They choose what type of microtransactions they want to push into the store, and if they want to follow the Call of Duty model and have extraordinarily flashy skins, then guess what DICE has to do? Guess what the art team has to do? They have to put together flashy skins. But if we can prove our point here and actually vote with our wallets, which is the only way we'll ever get any change when it comes down to Battlefield and the cosmetics, then this is the time where we need to take a stand, especially with the price of this brand new bundle. Ladies and gentlemen, Purchase this if you want to. Give them your money to this one specific bundle. Typically, I don't really, encourage others. I don't really tell anybody to do with their cash. If you want to, buy $100,000 worth of bundles in these games, by all means, go ahead and do such. But typically, I don't really do much besides buy battle passes. If you guys watch a lot of my content in every game I play, 9 times out of 10, I might get like one skin in the store if I really support the game. Like Splitgate, for example, I got a skin. But other than that, a lot of these games, I just grind out the battle passes because once you purchase it, the rest of them are free as long as you complete them. So that's my source of basically free content and new skins and new things to earn. But this is definitely going to be one of those occasions where I highly encourage players out there to give some money up for this, because not only does it basically help a cause, and of course EA, already stated they will pocket a decent portion of this cash, but I don't know how they handle it behind the scenes. Do they match it with their own money? Do they give, a quarter of what they earned over to, the organization? I don't know what it is, but it's still a much better cause to get this skin in the store over any of the other bundles that aren't going to serve any purpose outside of just, filling EA's pockets. But please, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to see true change when it comes down to cosmetics in Battlefield 6, vote with your wallet and vote with what you actually put on your soldier. Shoot, even if you don't want to purchase into this bundle and, support them with, your finances, then by all means, what you should be doing is just rock, the actual skins and cosmetics that you earn within the game, because there's a lot of grounded, cool-looking skins that you just simply have, right when you start up the game, and also cool ones that you earn as you slowly progress the game. But I'm going to be honest with you guys, there's not much reason for us to be complaining whatsoever. There's not much reason for us to be making posts online and talking about this so heavily and complaining so heavily. There's absolutely no reason, because it's as simple as this. If the majority of the players truly don't want to see skins like this, then guess what? People won't rock it, and EA will notice that they're not getting any money from their microtransactions. Now, a lot of people are worried, saying, oh, well, that means they'll just make the skins flashier. But no. As I stated, vote with your wallet. That's why I'm encouraging you guys to actually get this one bundle right here, right now. Again, it helps the veterans, and also it's pretty cheap. But it will prove a point on what you guys want to see within the overall experience. Yeah, maybe if we don't purchase anything at all, then they'll think, oh, the store might be a little too bland, and we gotta amp it up. But if we don't purchase anything at all, and what we mainly purchase are, once again, skins like the one I showcased earlier that actually look awesome, and that's where all their income is coming from, because trust me, they're going to be watching. That's all they really care about. Forget about the game, forget about the performance, forget about everything. The only thing that matters to them is how much money are certain aspects of this game making, okay? And if they see the majority of Battlefield fans purchasing, the more grounded-looking skins, then guess what type of skins they will continue to make for the overall experience. You get what I'm saying here? It's time for us to either put our money where our mouths are or just shut the heck up altogether. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if we don't vote with our wallets and vote with what we actually put on our soldiers, even when it comes down to the free stuff. And what this will prove is, again, who is in the majority? People who want flashy skins or people who want grounded skins? And if they continuously keep dropping flashy skins and, you're running around the battlefield and that's all you see, then I think that we have to come to a conclusion that we might be in the minority. But from what I can tell, especially with all the playtime I have in Battlefield 6, and trust me, I have a lot of playtime. I play the heck out of this game. I love it. In pretty much all my matches, I barely see anything. I might see some of the Battle Pass skins with a little lime green here and there, and I sometimes see the Battlefield Pro skin with a little bit of the orange. But overall, almost all the soldiers that I run into are running the basic gear, the basic stuff, normal-looking uniforms. And that's a good sign to me, because that means that we probably aren't in the minority. It's not like COD where you load up a match and half the lobby, sorry, not half the lobby, over half of the lobby are running around as unicorns, and we're sitting here screaming at the sky saying, yo, we want more grounded cosmetics, yet and still, every lobby you're in has the flashiest cosmetics and everybody rocking around with the, most wild of things. And Battlefield's the opposite, It seems like they kind of want to add some things that might be a little bit more flashy, but the community just isn't there for it. You see, a lot of people judged me a lot when I said I wasn't worried about cosmetics in Battlefield 6 and said, how could you possibly trust EA? And I said it back then and I'll say it again. The Battlefield community votes with their wallet. Like Battlefield 2042, for example. Nobody played it. They didn't like it, so guess what? They didn't play it. Nobody sat there and just complained about it all these years of just, playing the game that they hate. No, they left. The game became just a barren wasteland where nobody was actually at. And same thing when it came down to the cosmetics. They tried to make things flashy. Guess what? The community spoke out. They voted with their wallets. and they didn't go ahead and drop a bunch of Santa skins and all this stuff. And that's why, I kind of had the attitude moving into Battlefield 6 that they want to do anything, because at the end of the day, they can try, but it's a waste of their resources because their community just doesn't like stuff like that. The Battlefield community just doesn't care for flashy things the way that a lot of these big publishers think they do. And as I stated, that's good, because as I'm playing the game, I'm noticing nobody's rocking anything flashy. Everybody's being more grounded and realistic, not gameplay-wise. They're playing the game's an arcade shooter, but when it comes to what they want to rock, they're showcasing what they want to rock. They're voting with their playtime and wallets. So as I stated, this is where we need to take a stand. You guys see a new skin? It's the skin that all of you guys enjoy. It's not, breaking the bank. This is where you guys should be setting your cash at. If you're ever to consider getting a skin within Battlefield 6, this would be the one. Vote with your wallet. And again, if you don't want to vote with your wallet, you don't want to give them any cash at all, continue doing what you're doing. But don't start, spamming these skins in the game if that's not the direction you want to take. And as I literally just said before, if we start seeing a lot of those skins in the game, and that's what everybody's rocking, then maybe we were wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe we are the minority, but so far, so good. We just got to keep pushing in the same direction that we're pushing, and I genuinely think that we're going to see the shift that a lot of, players are looking for right now. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget subscribing to that bell. I post twice here, once at 8 a.m. Eastern Time and the second time at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And also, if you guys are interested in my live streams, I do stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, if you guys are interested, go link that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all next one. Peace out.